So Patrick Bet-David has been extremely bearish on real estate for the last 2 years, and I actually remember a video of him saying something along the lines of, if your house is worth $950K, list it and sell it for $900K because it's going to be worth $800K soon. Something to the tune of that. Now, I'm a fan of Patrick Bet-David. I like his content a lot, so I'm in no means trying to defame him. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this guy said this and he's wrong and he's fugazi and he's fake or any of that stuff. I enjoy his content, but I'd like to elaborate on this video. It's very interesting because lately, that's been his tune for the last 2 years. And up until this video, now his tune is kind of starting to change a little bit. So check this out.
Please. You know, I'm having this conversation with Brandon. And you know, Brandon is BizDoc on Unusual Suspects.
On steroids, because he looks he's like
one of the smartest guys.
I love him.
I'm sorry, I forgot about his biceps. Yeah, he's got to do double bind on the next one.
Brandon is...
I love the shirt he wore on the last episode. But let me kind of talk about this whole thing you're talking about with market crash. Okay. With whether it's going to eventually backfire, something happen.
Got you.
You know what's worse than a market crash?
What?
A market crashing up. You know what happens when a market crashes up, like Venezuela did?
No.
Here's what it means. Okay. Do you know? Oh my God. You know where I'm going with this. So these guys printed trillions of dollars into the economy. That money's in the economy.
Printed, Pat? You said printed?
No, that money's in the economy. They fed the economy trillions of dollars.
Okay.
So that money goes where? Whoever has the most value to be shown, that's where the money flows.
Okay.
The money doesn't stay with a person that doesn't know how to manage the money. If you don't have value, the money goes away to somebody else, okay? A reverse market crash would happen. Do you know what would happen if right now Jerome Powell decreased rates to 6%, 5%, 4%, 3%? Do you know what would happen today? You think that house that's $900,000, that the value hasn't moved even when they raised the rates to 8%, that $900,000 house is going to be $1.4 million. If it goes to $1.4 million and Dow Jones all of a sudden goes to 48,000, you know what just happened? This whole concept of rich getting richer, poor getting poor, it became rich getting richer, poor getting poor on steroids. The separation between the two gets wider and wider. The gap, take the poor, middle America's always been like this. Then you have the rich top 1%, whatever the percentage is. You're going to see the gap go like vroom, vroom, vroom. Did you understand what I mean? Like this is going to get bigger. The top rich is going to get bigger. The middle is going to come lower, but the poor is going to get bigger. How the hell are you going to, if you can't afford a $900,000 house right now, how are you going to afford it in a year if they lower the interest rates to go to 3, 4, 5%? Some of these realtors that are being irresponsible just telling everybody, well, wait till the rates come down. If the rates come down, it's reverse market crash. You want that to happen to Venezuela? Like what happened to Venezuela to happen? Oh, it'll never happen. You're just fear porn, all this stuff. Really? People can't afford to buy a house right now. There's a reason why they're renting. You're not going to have a customer qualifying for the $1.3 million home. Yes, you have equity in your house, but even if you got equity in your house, you got to find a buyer. Buyer can't afford it. There's a reason why we have so many strikes going on in America right now. People are saying, I can't afford my life.
So I've been talking about this for a very long time, and I'm personally more worried about the market melting upwards than the market melting downwards. If the market melts downwards, first off, it's not going to stay there forever. We're not building enough homes. There's not enough people moving here. Eventually, that's going to be a massive supply imbalance. I could always just rent that home out or live in it and continue to make the mortgage payments. I've got some recourse. Not to mention that if this nightmare scenario happens and real estate crashes 30, 40%, whatever that number is, building is going to come to a complete halt because at that point, we're basically going to be below replacement costs as the cost to build has gotten so ridiculously expensive that basically building is going to come to a complete halt. It's just going to be frozen. And then further down the line, this is going to lead to supply issues, lots of people moving here, and eventually something's got to give and the prices will have to start going up. So if the market goes down, I've got some things I can do and it's likely not going to stay there forever. Now, if the market goes up because the BOC had to pivot early or whatever the case may be, like realistically, what is my recourse? Like if the market goes up 30% and I don't own real estate, now I have to purchase it 30% higher. And then I'm going to be competing in multiple offers. And not only that, like everything that's being said right now will still be the case at that point. They're going to be saying the market's inflated, it's a bubble, it has to come down, don't buy now, this is ridiculous, the price to income ratios, every single thing that they're saying right now, they're going to be saying if prices are 30% higher, guaranteed. And then at that point, it's going to be so much harder psychologically to get into the market, right? Because it's like, now I have to buy 30% higher. I'm competing. It's likely going to be, subject free to win in these, competing offers. And I'm still fighting all the same things that I was fighting when the market was 30% lower. And it doesn't have to go up 30%, right? I said the market's going to go down 30%. So on the flip side of that, we're talking about going up 30%. So this isn't to spread fear. I think this is a legit concern that you guys should definitely consider and at least think about when it comes to your real estate purchasing decision making. Because crashing downwards isn't the only option. We could also crash upwards. And it's called a crash upwards because it's basically fast moving upward price action that nobody wants. Like, not even investors enjoy that kind of market because investors typically want to buy more investment properties, which, after prices go up 30% in a year, you're not buying any real estate. You're just holding on to whatever you have and waiting. Anyways, according to PBD, I would be irresponsible if I didn't tell you guys to buy at these higher interest rates right now. However, I'm not going to tell you to buy right now, but I'm at least going to say that this is something to consider for sure. Which worst case scenario are you more okay with? For me, I'd rather own a property that's gone down 30% in valuation that, maybe I rent out or whatever the case may be, than I not own any property and that property has gone up 30%. And if you want to chat about buying or selling, you can click on the link in my description and book a time to chat into my calendar. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'm that 𝐎𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐒. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.